good thing about this COVID-19 situation is people have realized that the church is just a building. Because before you could not convince them that they are the church. They are the church. And if they do not commune with themselves first, the communion of the church, of the building, will not be effective. Why? Because their spirits will not be ready for what God is able to do.
Wow.
So
this is deep.
But now, because of these 2 years of COVID-19, many people's hearts are ready for the gospel. That's why I am 100% sure that another revival must occur. Yeah, why? Because of the 24 months investment of people crying out to God.
And also, to cut you off, and the reliance on everything the pastor has to do for me, everything the ministers have to do for me. Even when it comes to believing in God, I have to go see a man of God to believe God for me. I have to go see a minister to believe God for me. But where God is saying that, why can't you? You are my son, you are my daughter. Why can't you come to me directly and talk to me? Why is it all the time your reliance is on other ministers, other child of God who has developed their faith? Because you just mentioned something very profound, that this COVID is an opportunity for people to see that the church is not the building, that they are the church. That if they don't develop their personal relationship with God, if at this point in your life, you're not sure of me, you're only sure of me through other people. You only know that I speak to you through other people, but you cannot hear my own voice for myself. What about if those people are not around?
Talk to me.
What about if you have no prophets to prophesy to you? You cannot hear my word from the Bible. You see, Phil, oh God. That is why we have the Bible, because the Bible is accessible to everybody. Because back in the olden days, the priest, the Catholics, only the priest has access to the Bible, but not the masses. And they were able to manipulate and control. The masses couldn't read. That is the same thing. That is why I keep saying knowledge is powerful. The masses, they couldn't read. They didn't know God for themselves. They started manipulating them. When the Bible was translated, people started knowing God for themselves.
About it is also people think that we are going to go to heaven as a congregation.
Wow.
So, and I don't know where all this foolishness comes from. To be honest with you, I look at the people in the church and I feel like it's like a sheep waiting for slaughter. People worship the building much more than paying attention to their personal altar with God. Their personal, assignment with God. Because you are running with another man, but you don't know his assignment. You have sent yourself on an errand and given him and given yourself his assignment, right? Meanwhile, you don't know your assignment. That's the same thing as a man who knows everything about his neighbor, but he doesn't know what's going on in his own house.
In his own household. Wow.
You are trying to pursue somebody's dream for God, but you don't know your personal assignment from God. Come on, lower down your interest and first find out, what does God want you to do? What is it what is on his mind?
Phil, if you look at the Bible, how God started this whole thing, it started with Abraham. Just one man. And it started with one man, the family, community, and the church. I think this COVID is also an opportunity, because what was missing in our culture is that families were, especially in this Western world, families don't have time. Back in the day, where parents and they will sit with their children and break bread together. That will only happen on Sunday, when all of them will shower and go to church. But when it comes to family altar, where the dad will be sitting, the mother will be sitting, and then they'll start studying the Bible, they'll start praying. Back in the days, those things used to happen. But the system is made in such a way that the mother is working 2 shifts. That is the dad is at home, finish work maybe at 9 p.m. Mother comes at 11 p.m. The kids are home. And then who's going to instruct the kids? But this COVID has made it in such a way that everybody are together. But then if you have not developed that habit of having that family altar, God has, again, the mercy of God, God will develop, God will say, no, what, start it now. His mercy will give you the opportunity to start it now. People who have developed it will continue it. Those who live in righteousness will continue righteousness. I just paraphrase. Those who live in sin will continue in sin. So whatever you have been practicing, that is what will expand. That is what will compound. So if you have been invested in your own personal altar, if you have been invested in certain spiritual principles, it will continue to compound. But some of us, we want these things to automatically happen in our life.
Have you seen a concept that always amazes you, whereby believers try to touch the shoes of the man of God or the garments of the man of God to transfer the anointing? Very interesting concept. Because I would like to attain the anointing like that.
Wow.
It's like a man who expects a harvest without having a field. And many people have accepted it as the way. I mean, I would like to touch your shoes and receive your anointing. That would be like fast foods. You know, that would be like awesome for me.
Wow, food Christianity.
God does not work like that. God does not work like that.
I think this we live. I think the church too sometimes instant Christianity, where instant miracle, especially with African churches, 24 hours blessing. Oh, when you pray this prayer, something will happen to you instantly, miraculously. But I realized that life is about growth. Life is about processes. It's a principle that you have to follow. It's a habit that you have to develop. That is the difference between a white person, how white people sometimes do things systematically. But for us, we want things to happen. I'm not against miracles. I'm not against supernatural things. There's a place for them. But it's not the norm. The Bible said, if you don't work, you don't eat. The book of Proverbs talks about diligence. If you see how a man does his work, it will stand before great men, not mere men. It's in the Bible. But Jesus Christ performed miracles because why? It was urgent. Number 2, miracles. I believe that miracles are performed based on these 2 things: the urgency and the need. Is there a need for it? And is that need urgent? Most times, we just want miracle, but there's no need for that miracle. When the other ways we can obtain what we want, but we want it to happen immediately. Let's say, for example, Phil, you want to be a millionaire. Some of us, our prayers will be, God, give me millions of dollars today. Somebody will just knock at my door. And then, Phil, here I am. God said I should give you $1 million. That is how some of us, we want money to come. Whereas God never said He will give us money like that. The Bible said He will give us power to make wealth.
Did you also realize that God gives you according to your faithfulness?
That's powerful.
Because I don't know about your financial life, but me, I have been tested and tried.
Faithfulness. Wow.
You have something very small. It's barely enough for you. But you have also gotten the opportunity to give that same small thing to another person who is worse than you.
So sorry to cut you up. So faithfulness is not just one act of whatever it is. It's consistent, commitment.
It's a lifestyle. Faithfulness is a lifestyle.
Wow. Let me write that down.
It's not just about you coming up with some principle overnight and trying to act like it's gonna be over. No. It's a lifestyle. And you should be committed to live that lifestyle.
God rewards
you should be willing to pay the price for whatever it takes to go through the fire. You see, people don't want the fire. But I love the fire. I love the fire. Why? Because after you have been in the fire for so long, the price you will receive will be the same price or even more than what the fire was about. I used to tell people from 6 years ago that life is predictable. 6 years, 8 years ago, I didn't have a dime.
Life is predictable.
Life is predictable. Why? Because it will give you what you have invested in it.